we are back with another video. And this time, instead of why attractive women, we're doing why attractive men aren't as normal as women may think. Now, this one is going to be like the other one, but not at the same time. I'm going to bring up some different points of views, and this will ultimately lead to my previous point I made in my other video about this whole normal thing and how it can really mess our viewpoints up. Now, like I said, let's get down to it, because I know y'all want to hear me and my opinion on this. And I know many women are curious about this as well. Okay, so when we're talking about attraction, what is important? Obviously, the perceptions and first impressions of the men you see. So women, you can agree to this, right? First impressions and perceptions matter. When you look at a man, you're looking at his what? His face, mostly, yep. You're looking at his body, maybe. You're looking at his hair. There are factors to consider when we're doing first impressions and perceptions. And you're gonna see me bring up a lot of men that y'all like. And try not to scream when I bring these men up, man. I know y'all be losing y'all minds over these men. Our first man to start off the day with, Michael B. Jordan. A good start. All right, a great way to start this off. Now, let's say you and your girls, were at a thing and y'all saw Michael B. Jordan. All right, what would your first impression be if you saw him? Meaning, what would you think about him? Right? If you first saw him, your impression, right? Would you want to talk to him if you had the chance to? Like, if he was alone, he was chilling, and if you had the chance to talk to him, would you do it? And if you wouldn't do it, then why? We're going to get more to that on these next few slides we're going to do. And the last question, what would you assume about him if you saw him or talked to him? Now, I mean, like, what assumptions would you make? Would you assume that he's kind, caring, clean, all these good traits? Would you assume that about him just by talking to him or looking at him? I want y'all to hold on to these points and y'all answers. We're going to get to those in a little bit. Next, Timothée Chalamet. I probably spell his name wrong. I don't get paid enough for this, all right? It's the same idea here with Timothy, all right? If you saw him at a party or event, what would you think? What would your first impression of him be? Like I said, it's the same idea, same premise here that we're dealing with, right? Would you approach and talk to him? If not, why? Like I said earlier, same things here that we have going on, right? Would you assume he has positive and normal personality traits? Just by looking at him, would you assume that he's normal? And if you do assume that he's normal, then why? And let me tell you something, that is a dangerous assumption that you're assuming. I'm telling you, man, be careful. And many of us do this. Like I said in my previous one, many of us assume the person is normal because we're looking at their looks and how attractive they are. But that can really mess you up. Guys, like I said, I'm at fault too for doing this. My brain subconsciously does this sometimes when it comes to fine women. But ultimately, this is not good. And last question, I'm gonna get sidetracked. If he was interested in you, would you be worried because you're not like him? And if so, why? Like I'm saying, why would you make that assumption that he's not like you? Is it because of his looks? Ooh, that was a bad stutter right there. Back to the point. Is it because of his looks that you made that assumption? And why is that? Is it because you're like, oh, because I look this certain way, I'm definitely less normal than he is? And like I said, that's just simply not true. You can't possibly know that based off how he looks. Just because a person looks good does not mean that they're more normal than you. And we're going to get to this in a little bit. I'm getting sidetracked again. All right, Damson Idris. Many of y'all like him. Black excellence. I mean, I can't lie. In this picture, he got it on. I mean, But anyway, it's the same idea with Mr. Idris. If you and your girls were at a social meetup and gathering and you saw him and your girls were like, oh, hold on. At that moment, what traits would you think he had? Would you assume that, oh, he's clean? Oh, I just know he, this and that. Would you associate his attractiveness with positive personality traits? Just by looking at him, would you be like, oh, I just know he this and I know he that. He the answer to all my problems. Would you make those assumptions? Would you assume that he is more normal than you because of his looks? Would you assume that because he looks like that, he's definitely more normal than you are? And why are you basing that off? What are you basing that off of? Are you basing that because of how you act? And I want to say something real quick. We don't know these people behind closed doors. He could be the weirdest person of all time. Not the weirdest person of all time. He could be like weird, right? And you would never know that. But because you made that assumption because of how he looks, like I said, your perception of him when you saw him, you think that. And now, time to get into the great part. Now, we can talk. Now I can, no more questions. I know y'all tired of that. Important questions to ask. Okay. Now, why do we assume attractive men are automatically emotionally stable? So when I say this, I mean, why do we assume just because they're attractive that they're emotionally straight? They have no problems emotionally. Many times when we look at an attractive person, either man or women, we assume that they're emotionally straight because of their looks. And this is just wrong. I mean, you finna see the last slide, and it's finna prove my point. And I want to say something real quick. Many of these men that y'all women be talking about will be the same men that be putting on a dress and stuff like that, and you would never even know that. And I'm not talking about if they're famous or not. They don't even have to be famous. Let's use Namor for example. Let's say you met Namor, right? And your first perception of him, he's clean, something like that, and you like, oh man, he got it going a little bit. I see him. You start talking to him, you're on the talking stage, and the more you get to know him, your first perception of him changes gradually because of the behavior of him, right? And over time, you start to see more of his behavior, and then one day, he starts getting more comfortable around. He's like, okay, I think I can start wearing this now, and he wears a dress. And then you see that and you're like, oh, my first perception of you is not how I see your behavior. Look at that. Y'all starting to get it now. It's making sense now, isn't it? And he opens up to you. He's like, hey, I like doing this and stuff and whatnot. Would you still like him then? And some of you women would be like, no, because I assumed that he was what I thought he was because he was attractive. Exactly. Okay, let's get straight to the point. Or the other questions I meant. Do good looks really mean someone is normal behind closed doors? As I was saying, this goes back to the Namor and the dress thing. I'm not saying Namor wore a dress. All right, Namor, I respect you, what I'm saying? I have not seen you wear a dress. I'm not gonna, Anyway, this goes back to what I was saying. We assume someone's normal based off their looks. And behind closed doors, they could be weird. They could be so weird. But you would never know that because you don't know them. We don't know these people. Shoot, believe it or not, attractive people most of the time are weird. It's the truth. They're weird. Some of them be the most weirdest of all. And y'all know it's the truth now. Come on now. All right, next question. Where did the idea come from that attraction equals maturity? As I was saying, we assume that these people have these traits because they look this way. And this is just wrong. You assume that he's mature because he looks like that, right? But then behind closed doors, he could be the most immature child because you're finally seeing his behavior. Exactly. You're finally seeing who he really is instead of your perception of who you thought he was. Exactly. Y'all are starting to realize it now. I am so proud of y'all. All right, we're going to get through more points to consider. More points to consider. All right, have you ever been attracted to someone and then disappointed once you got to know them? This has happened to a lot of y'all, and I know it. Shoot, it happened to me. I was attracted to someone, and once I got to know them, I was like, dang. I'm not gonna lie, they're kind of like a jerk. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. They look good, but they're like a jerk. And I assumed that they had positive traits because they look a certain way. And my perception of them was how I thought. But no, I was wrong. What are we basing this assumption off of? Do you have any evidence? Do you know this person? I know dang well you don't. But when you get to know them, you're like, oh shoot, so can we change something? This ain't gonna work. Yeah, you know, that's how it usually goes when you become disappointed when you once were attracted to someone. And another point, are attractive men misunderstood? yes. Attractive men, I'm gonna say it, are misunderstood. They have this expectation placed upon them because they look this way. Like I'm saying, all the fine men, y'all, like Michael B. Jordan. Michael B. Jordan has a heavy expectation placed on him. Many of y'all girls think he's a certain way, but I can guarantee you, you don't know nothing about this man. You don't know nothing about this man. Many of y'all think he's the bomb. Y'all think he's like, oh man, he's gonna solve all my problems. And I'm sorry for the zestiness in that. But you know, I'm trying to cater to the women on this one. I need them to understand the perspectives here. All right. Michael B. Jordan and all the fine men are misunderstood by most women because they're attractive. You're assuming that he has good and positive personality traits. You're assuming that he's a certain way. And in all actuality, he could be more weirder than you thought. And now he's misunderstood. And now, what if you're disappointed now? You didn't think about that, now did you? We didn't think about that. I didn't think about that. Like I said, I am at fault too. But if we realize this and fix it, then that's all that matters. Like I said, I am proud of you. And if you're listening up until this point, thank you. Thank you for listening. Don't have the TikTok brain. Don't have the TikTok brain. All right. Now my last question. What does constant validation do to a person's self-awareness? Some of these attractive people that y'all be talking about, like I said before, let's say you were talking to Damson Idris, right? You finally got to know him and stuff and whatnot. Or you're starting to talk to him. And he starts to treat you like, you know, you're like less than him. You gotta remember, these attractive people are placed on high pedestals, men and women. They're placed on high pedestals. So some of them might have their ego inflated. But you didn't think about that because all you saw was their attractiveness. It's very important to realize these things. At the end of the day, these people are human. Like I said, these people are human. They experience human emotions, like I said before. This is very important, fellas, ladies, all of us to realize this. The men that you glaze, the women that us men glaze, they could be the most egotistical, you know, so-and-sos. And we didn't realize that because we were blind to their attractiveness. It's important we realize this. And my final point, which is about being normal. All right. I'm going to say it again, like I said it before in the last one. No one, and I mean no one, is normal. You heard me. No one's normal. I don't know where you got that from. I don't know, what this assumption was based off of. No one is normal. Normal is mostly based off of perception, how you first see someone, how you saw them. Like I said, instead of behavior, their behavior. Most of the time when you're looking at an attractive person for the first time and you're starting to get to know them, it's that perception base, what you perceive them to be. But then when you got to know them via behavior, like I said, then you were like, oh, hold on. This ain't what I signed up for now, is it? Like, this is not the move. You know? We gotta return the ball back in the court. Like I said. And I'm gonna say this, and I mean everyone. You, everyone. Yes, my viewers listening to this. All of us are unique in our own way. And I put that picture of Bad Bunny to show that, and that emoji, so y'all can look at him. He's unique in his own way. Many of us men would not wear this outfit. We would not. Many of us don't want to feel feminine and that have that period energy. That slay queen energy. And many of us don't want to do that, but he's unique in his own way. Look at him go. He is rocking that dress. He is doing his thing. And props to him for doing that. Now, would I do that? No. And as I'm saying, it goes back. I am unique in my own way because I wouldn't do what he's doing. I wouldn't do what Bad Bunny's doing. And yes, this is Bad Bunny. Like I'm saying, we all are unique in our own way. And that's the important part. For us to realize that attractiveness is more than just a perception-based thing. It's a behavior thing. And the more you realize that, the more you can stop idolizing and glazing attractive people and start looking at them as human. And that's all I'm trying to say. And if you made it this far, you go. Thank you for listening to my yap session. I am proud of you. And if you want me to release more videos, please give me more ideas that I can do. I will gladly release more of these PowerPoints because I think people really need to listen to these. And I hope I was able to help some of you. I try my best. And please subscribe, please like, please share. Let everyone know the truth. And I will see you until next time.